Hello YouTube, Freddie Cardona here. Welcome back to another Driving and the News video. Today is September 1, 2023. The year is going fast. We're 6 days away, I believe, from our 1 year anniversary of doing these Driving and the News. So we have been doing this for about a year on and off, Monday through Friday. Every now and then when I don't commute to work, I don't post a video, obviously, because I'm not commuting to work. So Monday through Friday from September 7th, 2022 until today, we have uploaded a daily snippet, almost daily snippet of the news. So thank you for joining me on this mission of recording history for future generations. And I do know this is not the most exciting video, the most entertaining video in terms of YouTube, but I do feel it's necessary to record our history. So let's get it going.
Always live on the free Odyssey app.
Woods News Time 6:59. Going to be cool in and near the city to start. Chilly in some of the inland suburbs this morning. Then sunny and nice rest of today. High 78 degrees. Pleasant this evening. Low 63 in the city, but 50s in most of the suburbs. More people get their news from 1010 Winds than from any other radio station in the nation. Angela Laurie is our service aide. Walter Geis at the editor's desk. I'm Scott Stanford.
All news, all the time. This is 1010 Winds at 92.3 FM, New York.
Good morning, 62 degrees, clear skies, sunshine out there at 7 a.m. on this Friday, September the 1st. I'm Brian Britton. Here's what's happening. 250,000 planes in the sky, millions of people on the roads. We're hitting the last gasps of summer here, people. We're going into a long Labor Day weekend. You have something you need to say to Mayor Adams? Well, you can text him. He's given out his number. He says he wants to hear from you. A deadly helicopter crash in New Jersey. The pilot died after the chopper went down near Princeton Airport. It's called the gun show loophole. The Justice Department wants to close it and expand the use of required background checks. Why is it always laundry detergent? The latest social media challenge, eating and drinking borax. Doctors say you should probably not do this because it could kill you. Sports, Yanks lost to Detroit 4-3. AccuWeather, sunny, nice, high 78. Rough surf and rip currents, though. So the beaches, water-wise, it's a little bit iffy. Winds News Time 7:01. Traffic and transit. Here is Karen Stewart.
We're going to the east side of the city first. The northbound FDR Drive, north of 23rd Street, has got a disabled vehicle. We've got one lane block. We've got this long delay on the upper east side heading down to 82nd Street from back in the low to mid 130s on the southbound Harlem River Drive FDR combination. It's not affecting the inbound RFK. It's doing pretty well despite delays around the airport on the westbound Grand Central and delays coming up the western spur, coming up the westbound side of the eastbound side, I should say, to the Grand Central Parkway West from back at 31st Avenue. Those are just volume delays there. Let's check and see how we're doing in Jersey City, and I can tell you it ain't good. Westbound 139, the covered roadway east of Tonnelle Avenue in Jersey City. Accident investigation. All lanes are closed, and traffic's getting detoured to the upper level, which is packed by now, really packed. Traffic exiting the Holland should use the Newark Bay extension, and eastbound on 139, the left lane's blocked with emergency vehicles as well. Alternate side of the street is in effect today, citywide. Your Odyssey Lottery recap is presented by Jackpot, and Powerball is now $420 million and Mega is $85 million. Order official state lottery games on your phone. Must be 18 or older to play. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem or wants help, call 877-8-HOPE-NY. Traffic and transit every 10 minutes around the clock. I'm Karen Stewart, 1010 Winds on 92.3 FM.
Where did the summer go? The final countdown. This is it, people. This is the final big weekend of summer. Kids back to school in the city next week on Thursday. Teachers are likely already there, setting up their classrooms. Weather-wise, are we going to be able to get out and enjoy it through the entire weekend? If we had a magic 8-ball, well, we don't need one. We've got Dean DeVore.
Well, my head looks like a magic 8-ball some mornings, but that's a whole different story for a different day. Look, this is, I couldn't have drawn this forecast up any better with the one exception of the beach situation, but we'll get to a second. Temperature-wise, it's going to be comfortable at the start. Now, it is going to start getting hot and humid as we get to the latter part of the holiday weekend. And friends, that heat and humidity is going to stick around, pardon that pun, as we go into that week for some of us leading up to the return to school. So just keep that in mind for the kids. Get them hydrating and ready here. But today, upper 70s, tomorrow near 80, and then the warmth kicks in on Sunday, 86, and near 90 with real feels in the upper 90s for Labor Day itself. The beach situation, there is still going to be a high risk of rip currents today at all area beaches. We're hoping that with the relaxation of the influence from those tropical systems and the waning of the supermoon, which has certainly contributed to this, we will get better situation there incrementally as we go through the weekend. We'll keep you up to date on that, but this great weather will be enjoyed by all right here through the weekend on New York's weather station, 1010 Winds on 92.3 FM.
Thank you, Dino. 61 right now. It is indeed cool out there. We are going up to 78 at 60 in South Ozone Park. We're at 57 in Allendale, New Jersey. Englewood, 57 as well. And, of course, it is the last chance before school starts. A lot of families hitting the roads, the rails, the skies. 250 million flights, millions of people taken to the skies. And the roads, too, are not going to be empty out there. Let's go to the Vince Lombardi service area. That's where we check in with 1010 Winds newsman Glenn Schuck.
The weather outstanding. In fact, a little chill in the air here this morning. Gas prices stable. And for some reason, most of the random groups of people I stopped to chat with early in the morning here are all headed to Vermont, including Tommy.
We're driving up to Vermont. Yeah.
And who are you with?
My boys.
Your boys. So that's a nice time with them, right? I mean, what are your plans for the weekend, if you don't mind me asking?
A little bit of hiking, kayaking, stuff like that.
Looking forward to it?
Oh, hell yeah.
I've been asking people the question, so you don't feel like summer's over when Monday comes here, or you kind of do?
No, actually, we live down by Atlantic City, so once all the
Northerners?
Once all the visitors are gone.
Yeah. The road's very busy here well before dawn. In fact, AAA and TSA are saying this is going to end up being one of the busiest summer travel seasons we have ever seen. Glenn Schuck, 1010 Winds on 92.3 FM here at the Vince Lombardi on the Turnpike in Ridgefield.
I like that guy who was being so polite once all of the visitors go home. You know, he's talking about bennies or shoebies. Long weekend also means it's time for the West Indian Day Parade. NYPD says they are doubling down on keeping Juve safe. In the past, the events have been somewhat violent, even deadly. Back in 2015, there was a gang dispute led to gunfire that killed an attorney and aide to former Governor Andrew Cuomo. Thousands of officers on duty.
It is the NYPD's job to keep it safe for everyone to enjoy. As we do every year, we'll have a strong police presence at events throughout the weekend. Our uniformed officers will be on foot posts, out on patrol, and working day and night to protect residents and revelers alike.
Police Commissioner Edward Caban. Juve begins 6 a.m. Monday morning, starting at Grand Army Plaza. The main parade starts at 11:30. Yes, there will be street closures, so 1010 Winds Traffic and Transit will be on top of that for you, of course, as well. Drones being used at area beaches to keep an eye out for sharks, but not a lot of folks swimming yesterday. Today, it remains to be seen. Jones Beach, Robert Moses, Hither Hills are all closed yesterday.
On social media, I see videos of people talking about the rough surf off of Long Island, most saying they have never seen anything like it before. And at Jones Beach, those on the boardwalk told me the same thing after the sand walls in some places failed to protect the beach yesterday and the water came up to the boardwalk. The lifeguards have been too concerned to let anyone swim in the water off of the state beaches, Jones Beach, Hither Hills, and Robert Moses. The beaches are expected to be packed this Labor Day weekend, and of course those wanting to get in the last blast of summer are hoping Hurricane Franklin will not ruin their plans and they can go back into the water. The state park spokesperson says they will evaluate the situation and make a decision later today. Sophia Hall, 1010 Winds on 92.3 FM on Long Island.
And once we know that decision, of course, we will bring that to you. But you know the deal. You go to the beach, lifeguards, they'll put the flags up if it's red or if there's a big sign that says no swimming. Don't risk it. Just don't even go in the water unless there's a lifeguard there and the beach is open for swimming. Police are looking for 3 people wanted in a car theft and a series of robberies in the Bronx and Queens. Authorities have just dropped pictures of the suspects, so we got to look at these 3 guys. Happened back on July 25th. Police say the vehicle stolen in Charlotte Gardens on Boone Avenue and East 173rd Street. And then the next day, cops say these 3 guys used the car to drive around and threaten people. One guy in Jamaica Hills, they waved a gun at him, ripped the chain chain off of his neck. Another guy at World's Fair Marina at Northern Boulevard, he was relieved of his chain and $2,500 in cash and a designer watch. No injuries reported. Police just found the stolen vehicle a couple of days ago up in the Bronx. We've got pictures of these people up at 1010wins.com. So you know the deal. Take a look. If you know anything, call Crime Stoppers, 1-800-577-TIPS. Mayor Adams again calling on the feds to step up when it comes to the migrant crisis.
We must expedite work visas. It's just common sense. Thousands of jobs are available to be filled to provide the services we need in the city, the state, and this country.
His Honor joining dozens of other elected officials yesterday to call on the White House to expedite work permits. Earlier this week, Governor Kathy Hochul was in D.C. talking with members of the Biden administration. She called it a frank and productive conversation, but said it was not enough to fully address the crisis. Not everybody on board with the mayor. Police did have to escort a handful of protesters away. So if you do have something you'd like to tell Mayor Eric Adams, good or bad, I would assume, you can now text him. On the heels of New Jersey Governor Phil Murphy announcing that his phone was open to text, Adams is now giving out his number. He says, hit me up, New York. I'm at 917-909-2288. He calls the program Text with Eric. One man dead after the helicopter he was flying crashed in New Jersey.
At about 3:25 Thursday afternoon, firefighter Chuck Paisano saw a helicopter that looked like it was out of control. It had taken off from Princeton Airport.
After it started to descend, it disappeared out of the sight line.
He found a police officer, and they headed here to Carnegie Lake. Here's Deputy Police Chief Jim Ryan.
The helicopter had landed upside down in the water. Officer Tyler Harpster and firefighter Captain Chuck Paisano went and immediately entered that water.
They saw the shoulder of the pilot in the upside-down chopper. They lifted it up and got him out, but he couldn't be saved. No one else is believed to have been on board. Several authorities, including the FAA, will investigate. Mac Rosenberg, 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM in South Brunswick.
Biker in critical condition after a crash involving his motorcycle and an SUV in Brooklyn. It happened 6 p.m. yesterday, 575 Utica Avenue. The 39-year-old driver of the motorcycle was thrown off the bike. He was taken to Kings County in critical condition. Now, the woman who was driving the Highlander, identified as a 52-year-old female, initially got out of the car and ran away. She fled the scene on foot, but she did return. Police tell us at this point no charges have been filed. Wins News Time, coming up on 7:11. But first, now this message. Riverside Memorial Chapel, for generations, a symbol of Jewish tradition and uncompromising quality. This is the big day, the mass exodus, the great getaway. It is underway in some spots already. Folks trying to get out and about for the Labor Day weekend. We've got weather-wise a forecast that is just outstanding. Dean DeVore will be along in just a second to tell us about it. But if you are headed somewhere, let's get you there. Wins News Time 7:11. Traffic and transit. Here is Karen Stewart.
Where are we going in New Jersey on westbound 139? We're going to a big nowhere here, the covered portion east of Tonley Avenue. We have an accident investigation. All lanes are closed and traffic's being pushed to the upper roadway, which is heavy, but not as bad as it was earlier. It's thinned out a lot for some reason, and we'll take it. So again, the upper roadway not jammed anymore. Traffic exiting the Holland Tunnel should use the Newark Bay extension. Eastbound, the left lane's blocked with emergency vehicles on 139 as well. Northbound 1 at Dean's Lane in South Brunswick, gas main break with the right lane closed. Northern suburbs, westbound 84 at the Chiconic, we have an accident on the left. And westbound 119 at Manhattan Avenue in Greenburgh, we have emergency repairs for a sinkhole there. The right lane is blocked in that case. Both directions of the M subway trains have been suspended until Tuesday at 5 for track work. Use the FJs and Rs instead. There's a free M90 shuttle bus that's going to make stops between Middle Village, Metropolitan Avenue, and Myrtle Avenue. Over at the Hudson River, as we check what you need to know about the bridges and tunnels, 15 in at the George and the Lincoln, 25 in at the Holland, and alternate side of the street is in effect today citywide. We're sponsored by One Prostate Center. Our next report is 7:21. I'm Karen Stewart, 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM.
Are you one of the millions of Americans suffering from...
All right, guys, thank you so much for joining me on this extended version of Driving in the News. We took a few different routes, went into a few different neighborhoods, and that's why I say you should subscribe. You never know what you're gonna get. You never know what neighborhood I'm gonna feature in this Driving in the News video. So you're just not getting news. Sometimes you might get a surprise, and that surprise is going to a different neighborhood. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching and joining me on my daily commute and my morning drives as I go to work. We'll see you on the next video.